Good morning, everyone. Well, I don't know if it's morning where you are, but it's kind of early morning here. And, well, as I sat down in front of the camera, Vlad said, "Oh, you have a problem on your face." I said, "I know, but I was up with Liesel and we were, I was kind of a tricky night with Liesel and it left some marks on my face, and what am I to do about it? It's my chance to record. I'm going to go with it." So maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but it's a beautiful morning here. The birds are singing, the sun is shining, it's crisp and clear, and I'm going to add to it by enjoying some music. So let's do this together. Tower of Power is an American band originating in Oakland, California that has been performing since 1968. Okay, so kind of moving back towards the classic era. They have had 8 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. Their highest charting songs include You're Still a Young Man, So Very Hard to Go, What is Hip, and Don't Change Horses in the Middle of the Stream. I kind of like that title. Doc Kupka said, "I want to write a song called What is Hip?" He said, "Everybody's trying to be hip, but as soon as they do whatever it is that makes them hip, that is already not hip anymore." Castillo said in an interview, "I would give most of the credit for that concept lyrically to Doc. He said he wanted to write a song about being hip." And I said, "About being hip?" He said, "Well, what I mean is, being hip is so short-lived. You can be hip by wearing your hair a certain way today, and then in 3 months, that style's gone and you're as unhip as you could possibly be. I want to write a song about that." So it's saying what's hip today might become passé. I just have to say this. Is it hip today to have pillow face? This'll wake me up.
So you wanna jump out your trick bag and ease on into hip bag, but you ain't just exactly sure what's hip. You started to let your hair grow, spend big bucks to top your wardrobe, but somehow you know there's much more to the trip. What is hip? Tell me, if you think you know. What is hip? If you're really hip, the past and the years will show you in a hip trip. Maybe hipper than hip. But what is hip?
Oh, I like that. I like that brass. This has a lot of energy to it. It's a good song to get me going this morning. And there's a lot of brass in it. The drums are kind of busy too. And it's really bouncing around in a lot of short bursts. Each instrument is just busy, bursting here, bursting there. And so when that long note comes in, it's one of the Brandenburg Concerti. There's this moment where all the instruments are just busy chugging along, being active, and then out of nowhere there comes this beautiful thin violin. And it's like that just adds an incredible dimension to the piece that wasn't there before. I think it's one of, speaking of Bach, I don't know how I got to Bach, but anyway, one of Bach's magic moments is when he chose to put that long violin sustained note. And this is kind of like that. I won't equate it to Bach and that sort of thing, but it's the same effect of, there's a long note coming, and then it didn't just have a long note, it carried us upwards and kind of lifted us out of this frenzy of activity here. Really nice.
Tell me, if you think you know. What is hip? If you're really hip, the past and the years will show you in a hip trip. Maybe hipper than hip. But what is hip?
Isn't that nice? Oh, that's fun. It's almost as if it's playing with his idea of hip or something that was really catchy at the moment. And as I said, that long note. Well, now here it comes sounding a bit different this time. It's a bit trilled, a bit garbled even, and it's still the same line. It still ascends. It still does a little bit of a solo moment afterward, but it's different. It's as if, okay, to be hip this time, I've got to tweak things up a little bit.
You in a hip trip, maybe hipper than hip. What is hip?
Running down and around.
What it is. Hipness is what it is. Hipness is what it is. And sometimes hipness is what it ain't. Hey.
Okay, and that was another really nice musical moment here where when it's singing hipness is, most of the way the music's been doing its own thing and the voice is doing its own thing. But in this moment, because it's been each one kind of separately active in its own way, when it comes together and the instruments exactly back up what the voice is doing, hipness is, you really feel it, and it feels like a sort of declaration, kind of arrest your attention moment.
What it is. Hipness is what it is. And sometimes hipness is what it ain't. Hey. You done went and found you a guru in an effort to find you a new you, and maybe even managed to raise your conscious level while you're striving to find the right road. There's one thing you should know: what's hip today might become passé. What is hip? Tell me if you think you know. What is hip? If you're really hip, the past and the years will show you in a hip trip, maybe hipper than hip. What is hip? Think about it, y'all.
Think about it, y'all. Coming from California, saying y'all? Oh, what is that? Think about it, y'all.
Think about it, y'all.
Y'all. Okay. That was hilarious. That was fun. That was funny. I mean, it's a style of music, right? There's there's a there's a particular style to this, and it's music that is living in that style. So I can't say that whoever put this music together was thinking about, okay, let's do this here, let's do this there, let's make the music have a message itself. It's more like this what is hip? Kind of a meditation on what is hip, right? This meditation in the lyrics is the music is just carrying that. However, it was a great choice of music for the question, for the idea, because it has this feeling of busyness and perpetual activity and running around here, there, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep pace with who's hip, what's hip. I got to do this, and the activity, the effort never ends because, fashions change, and as soon as I'm hip, well, everybody else is doing the same thing, so I'm no longer hip anymore. And the music gives this great, energetic, somewhat humorous atmosphere in which to present this question. And I like it. It's cute, it's funny, it's amusing, and it's a fair question. What is hip? This morning it's pillow face. But I can guarantee that the very moment that all the other YouTubers start showing up on YouTube with pillow face, I won't be hip anymore. It's okay, I didn't try. So I didn't waste my energy on it. And yes, it is a fun song. It is entertaining, pleasant, kind of easygoing, a little bit cool sounding in its own way. But this question that it's asking, it's a decent question, and it's asking it presenting it in a entertaining, cool way, but it's one that maybe we should all stop and think about from time to time. What is hip? What is the point of trying to stay up with the latest trendy, fashion, style, attitude, activity, conversation? How about we all just be ourselves? And well, this band is from the 60s, right? 60s, 70s. So it's fair. It makes sense for it to be talking about the hippie set. And of course, it plays in with hip, hippie. But the idea that, yeah, hippie was once cool, then it became a fashion. And then you had to have, everything that went with it that was so fresh and new and exhilarating at one point. The dress, the hair, kind of became washed out and dull, and it didn't mean so much anymore. It's that way with everything, and why don't we just be ourselves? If you're not a hippie, don't try to be a hippie just to be cool. If you're not a certain style, if a certain vibe or quality or activity, a certain trending expression doesn't suit you, then it's okay, just leave it. How about we just make hip be you? Whatever is you is hip. And call it good. So I think it's a decent question, and I like the way it's presented in a kind of lighthearted, fun way. And it's nothing really profound. It's not pretending to be profound. And I appreciate that it's just, it's like, okay, what is it? Like saying, okay, guys, let's just think about this. And to answer the question for me, tell me, because I want to know. That's kind of how I relate to it, and I think it did a good job with that. Well, there was Tower of Power. In fact, I didn't mention at the beginning, but when I saw Tower of Power, I thought, is this going to be some heavy metal sound that I'm going to be subjected to this early in the morning. It was fun and lighthearted, so good way to start the day. What is hip? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you all soon.